So with JoJo Siwa claiming the end of her child stardom and people questioning whether she's going to become an adult star, whether she's starting an OnlyFans, this is what my opinion is.
Warning: the following content is not made for children and may be disturbing or offensive to some viewers. May contain sexual themes, violence, strong language, dramatic scenarios, and flashing lights. Viewer discretion is advised.
I think because JoJo posted this TikTok the other day where she was saying it was like the biggest meeting of her life, and then we see her showcasing like this entirely different style. She's now wearing all of these expensive chains, and she got a full sleeve of tattoos that I'm still questioning, like, is that even real or is it nylons? Like, it's JoJo Siwa. You never know when she's faking because she's not the most honest person when it comes to how she portrays things online. And we all saw her like fake those pregnancies and stuff like that. So I'm like, is it even a real tattoo sleeve? I don't know. I don't care personally. But what I do think is happening is I do think that she signed with a record label, and that's what my hunch is, because she has her own little record label going, basically, I guess you could call it that, with her and her mom and the XOMG Pop Girls, because they're funding them. They have their own contract, so you could say that they're a record label. And then I would say that JoJo is trying to pursue a more adult stream with her entertainment. We can see that with how she's been trying to distance herself from the little kid kind of branding and how she's entirely changed up her image. She talks completely differently now, and just the way that she fronts herself, her persona has changed entirely, which makes you question, like, how much of this was authentic and real in the first place? Like, people are allowed to grow and change, but when you change entirely overnight, but you claim that all of the years previous were super authentic, that you dressing like a 7-year-old with a bow in your hair and a long ponytail and wearing the clothes that you did up until you could pawn off that brand onto a new group of kids. It's just very questionable to me. Again, I really don't care either way whether that was her authentic self or not, but it does make you question how honest somebody is when they've swore up and down that that was their authentic self and this is her. And then when I was 18, on the day after my 18th birthday, I decided to take the bow out and become an entirely different person. No, that sounds like a brand, not a person. That's not how people work. That's not how identities flow and change gradually as a human being. That's how a brand rebrands. So that's why I'm like, was any of this ever authentic? I don't know. I can see the authentic JoJo. I don't need to see her brand through any specific way to see who the authentic person is. But anyways, I do think that she has probably been signed with a record label. I think that she's going to be coming out with a lot more mature music, and people have been saying in her comment section, like, you're really about to hate this girl. And I really think that for a lot of people, you are. If you're expecting JoJo to stay in that brand, that box that she created with the sparkly, glittery bows and the anti-bullying and this and that, we're about to say goodbye to that. I think that JoJo is going to start a record deal. She's going to be producing an album. That's what I think. I think she's going to be working on new music. JoJo, in my opinion, is not a good singer. She is she doesn't have the talent, and she clearly hasn't worked on the skill set over the years. So I think that she can be a musician, and I think that she definitely has a place in the music industry, but it's going to be maybe rapping or maybe some kind of speak singing style, because she is not a vocalist, let's just say that, and she hasn't worked on it to any like notable improvement over the years. So I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm expecting JoJo to try and be like fitting in with the rap scene. I'm literally expecting her, just like everything else she's done in her career, to try and copy the Miley Cyrus blueprint to a T. I just feel like with Miley Cyrus, it was so authentic and real to who she was. Maybe going out on stage and like playing with the foam finger and doing all of these attention scandalous things weren't exactly who Miley was, but she knew that she needed to do that in order to get her music talked about. And in the words of Miley Cyrus, if you could have people talking about your performance a month later, you would. So I think that Miley knew what she had to do for a brand campaign. That being said, I just don't think that JoJo's fan base is the same as Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus was on a TV show. Her fan base loved her for her. They loved her entertainment. They loved everything about it. And JoJo's fan base, I don't think does love the real authentic JoJo. Some people might. I think that JoJo's fan base loves the brand that she created, that she passed down to the XOMG pop girls, with like the anti-bullying and the everything is positive and enthusiastic and everybody is bright and glittery and wearing bows, and it was just a very visual brand. And I don't think that JoJo carried much of who she was in that brand, and I don't think that she carries much of that brand into her new personal persona, and that's why she's getting so much hate on the internet, as well as like the Rolling Stones article and everything that's come out about her through the Sandersons, Leah Sanderson, and the XOMG pop debacle, because although they have all of the other members from the group that have previously left under an NDA so that they can't speak, we kind of have all gathered what has happened and how that has progressed. And so it's kind of tainted JoJo's image as this anti-bullying, super pure, super girl's girl kind of person, when it just doesn't stand, like reality doesn't stand with the brand, you know? I hope that makes sense and I'm not just blabbing, but I do think that going forward that we're going to see a JoJo Siwa that continues to not care about how she comes across and not care, just like how Angie said when she was Angie is Leah's mom, how she was talking about how JoJo sees the media. She thinks that everything will just be a headline for one day and then it'll blow over the next. I think that that is how JoJo is going to continue taking her career, because if you look at her TikTok with all of this hate, with all of these people that have stopped supporting her, she's still getting millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Like, she's getting, just last week, like 25 million, 30 million views on a TikTok she posted last night. It already has like 5 or 6 million views. So everything that she does is getting viewed. It's getting talked about, just like Miley Cyrus. And I feel like JoJo feels like she believes everything Abby said on Dance Moms about like all press is good press, but we've seen with Abby that all press is not good press, and going to prison really derailed her career. She had a television show afterwards, but she doesn't have any kind of engagement or any kind of support like she did before. She's shopping around other television shows. She already created another television show that she launched on Brandon TV, and we're just not seeing any kind of hype around Abby Lee Miller the same way that we were before, because she honestly believed that all media attention is good media attention, all publicity is great, when in reality it's not. And I think that we're seeing that with JoJo Siwa as well, that she's able to get the attention, she's able to get people to continue to watch her, but I don't think that her original people that were supporting her are supporting her anymore. And if you look back at JoJo's childhood career, you would see that JoJo was always super bullied. She was always the kid that people were making memes about her balding and her hairline receding and her being like a giant Caillou or a giant child. So it's not new for JoJo to be bullied, but she had this giant fan base because of it, and that fan base that she created that was loyal to her for being the underdog is not going to be on board with this new rebrand and the way that she's been acting recently. So that's just my 2 cents on the issue. Let me know what you guys think of JoJo Siwa down in the comments below in this whole new rebrand. Do you think that she's authentic? Do you think she's ever been authentic? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on this situation. And you can check out my last video here where we were discussing all of basically the Dance Moms cast and all their updates, but also like the JoJo Siwa OnlyFans. And as always, make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.